देखिरहेको छ अहिले जस्तो है अस्ति नेपाली यसको रुट देखाएको थिएन होला है यसमा चाहिँ देखाउँछु देख्यो रुट देखिरहेको छ
मोन्स्टेरा हो
अहिले कत्रोसम्म देखाउँछु है रुट देख्यो यो चाहिँ पानीमा राखेपछि आएको रुट हो है पहिला अलिकति पनि रुटहरू थिएन यसमा अनि यो मेरो मोन्स्टेरा प्लान्ट चाहिँ यति ठुलो छ कि कत्रोसम्म यति ठुलो मोन्स्टेरा प्लान्ट
यो मनला ठुलो
लगभग मलाई नै ढाक्ने छ तर यसमा चाहिँ मजाले रुट्सहरू आएको छ अब यो रुट चाहिँ मैले अबलाई चाहिँ अब मैले साथ दिन्छु होइन अनि यो वाला ट्रान्सजेनामा पनि मजाले रुटिङ भएको छ है यो मेरो हाइड्रोपोनिक्सकै रिजल्ट हो यसमा रुटिङ भएको चाहिँ लगभग कति भयो होइन 5 महिनामा बल्ल यत्रो रुटिङ भयो कि यसमा चाहिँ जाडो महिनामा ल्याएर राखेको नि त त्यही भएर रुटिङ एकदमै स्लो भएको थियो अनि यो चाहिँ मेरो अर्को मोन्स्टेरा हो अनि यसमा कस्तो मजाले रुटिङ भएको देखिरहेको छ रुट है यो चाहिँ मेरो आफ्नो भर्खर ल्याएर राखेको वाला स्पाइडर प्लान्ट हो है सानो रुट छ देखिँदैन होला मैले अझ ठुलो रुट छ अझ देखाउँछु अनि त्यस पछाडि यो चाहिँ मेरो नयाँ क्याम्पेन सुरु गरेको रहेछ के क्याम्पेन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ आफ्नो घरतिर चाहिँ पुरै भएको के फोहोरहरू हुन्छ नि अब प्लास्टिक होस् कुहिने फोहोर जस्तो होस् होइन धेरै फोहोरहरू छ भने चाहिँ सबै जम्मा गरेर ल्याएर एक ठाउँमा थुपारेको रहेछ कि अनि थुपारेर प्लास्टिक वेस्ट छुट्टै अनि त्यस पछाडि यो डिकम्पोज हुनेवालाहरू वेस्ट छुट्टै त्यसरी राखेको रहेछ कि अनि यो चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै राम्रो लाग्यो कि उसले गरेको अनि यो मात्रै नभएर अब उसले चाहिँ अलि हुन्छ नि उसको वार्डको मेयर टाइपको कोही मान्छेहरू हुन्छ नि अलिक ठुलो उनीहरूसँग हेल्प लिएर अनि त्यस पछाडि फर्दर अझ राम्रो कामहरू प्लान्टेसनहरू गर्ने रे अनि त्यस पछाडि उनीहरू चाहिँ अब कसैले उनीहरूले अब यस्तो यो फोहोर उठाइरहेको कामलाई चाहिँ ग्रान्टेड नलियोस् भनेर हरेक घरबाट 20 रुपियाँ उठाएको रहेछ अनि त्यही पैसा चाहिँ अब युज गरेर अझ राम्रो काम गर्ने प्लान बनाएर रहेछन् उनीहरूले अनि उनीहरूको घरतिरको चाहिँ युथ क्लबले गरेको हो कि खासमा यो अनि अब हामी सबैजनामा पनि यो जागर हुनु पर्यो कि अब हामी कलेजमा त गर्छौँ केही प्रोग्रामहरू यताउता गऱ्यो भने हुन्छ नि हाम्रो कलेजमा हामी अरूभन्दा राम्रो बन्नको लागि भए पनि अरूको अगाडि देखाउनको लागि भए पनि होइन कति कुराहरूमा पार्टिसिपेट गर्छौँ कति कुराहरू गर्छौँ होइन तर हामी सबै एक्लै हुन्छौँ नि इन्डिभिजुअल हामी कसैले नदेख्ने टाइममा हामी केही गर्दैनौँ कि हुन्छ नि अरूलाई देखाउनको लागि मात्रै गर्छौँ त्यस्तो चाहिँ नहोस् होइन अरूले नदेख्दा पनि हुन्छ नि अब हुन्छ नि कसैको अगाडि हाम्रो पेज होस् नहोस् होइन तर हामीले राम्रो काम चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ कि यो काम चाहिँ मलाई एकदम मन परेको थियो अनि यो काम गर्ने चाहिँ अरू कोही होइन कि हाम्रै ग्रुपको सौरभ शर्मा हो है अनि त्यस पछाडि हुन्छ नि उसले गरेको देख्दा चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै खुसी लागेको थियो कि थ्याङ्क यू सौरभ यस्तो राम्रो काम गरेकोमा है त यसरी उनीहरूले मजाले हुन्छ नि मजाले सफा गरेका छन् कि उनीहरूको ठाउँलाई यस्तै सबैजनाले गर्ने हो भने नेपालमा हुन्छ नि मान्छेहरू अलि राम्रो ठाउँमा बस्न पाउँछन् है थ्याङ्क यू सौरभ अनि अर्को एउटा कुरा पनि है हाम्रो ग्रुपको अर्को एउटा मेम्बर है पङ्कजले पनि होइन मजाले 50 वटा युकलिप्टसको ट्री लगाएको छ है आफ्नो घरतिर मजाले है अनि त्यस पछाडि अनि हाम्रो ग्रुपको अर्को एकजना मेम्बर पनि छ है जितेन्द्र अनि उसले पनि आफ्नो घरतिर कति धेरै प्लान्टेसन गरेर रहेछ कि लगभग धेरै नै कि कति त आई डोन्ट नो अराउन्ड 200 होला मेबी अनि उसले मजाले प्लान्टेसन गरेर रहेछ रुखहरू अब त्यही हो सबैजनालाई चाहिँ म के भन्न चाहन्छु भन्दाखेरि यसरी यो प्लास्टिकहरू चाहिँ बाटोमा हामी कोही फाल्छौँ भने पनि नफालौँ है अनि त्यस पछाडि रुखहरू यस्तो प्लान्टहरू रोप्नु भनेको एकदमै राम्रो काम हो अनि अब कसैलाई केही प्लान्टहरू रुखहरू यस्तो केहीको बिरुवाहरू चाहिएको छ भने यु क्यान कन्ट्याक्ट मी होइन मसँग भएको रुख बिरुवाहरू म तिमीहरूलाई यत्तिकै दिन्छु है केही चाहिएको छ भने कन्ट्याक्ट मी है त यति हो मैले भन्न चाहेको थ्याङ्क यू
त्यो खासमा लगभग यो लगभग 4 दिन जति हामीहरूले लगभग 2 to 3 आवर्स होइन सुरुमा गरेको थियौँ अनि लगभग अहिले त्यसको डस्टबिनको इन्स्टलको काम हाम्रो कम्युनिटीमा 18 जनाको घर छ क्या फ्यामिली अनि त्यसमै गरेको म एउटा सानो यहाँ लगभग भिडियोमा हेराइदिन्छु है त
र सबभन्दा पहिले म आफ्नो एउटा मुक्तकबाट थाल्छु। मलाई अकिञ्चन भोक मनपर्छ, मलाई अकिञ्चन भोक मनपर्छ, मलाई त्यही सधैँ बदलिरहने सोच मनपर्छ, मलाई त्यही सधैँ बदलिरहने सोच मनपर्छ। तिमी यसरी नै सधैँ सिक्दै अनि सिकाउँदै जाऊ, तिमी सधैँ यसरी नै सिक्दै अनि सिकाउँदै जाऊ। मलाई तिम्रो यस्तै देखाउँदै गरेको अटोट मनपर्छ, मलाई तिम्रै यस्तै देखाउँदै गरेको अटोट मनपर्छ। र अब म आजको प्रेजेन्टेसन थाल्छु। मेरो खास यो एउटा वाइ द मेन डोन्ट लिसन एन्ड द मेन कान्ट रिड म्याप्स भन्ने बुक छ, यसको केही इन्ट्रोडक्सन थाल्छु। This book basically talks about what is the difference between the men and the women. Basically, we used to talk about that they both are same, but how biologically they are different and how their thinking process are different. This book basically talks about that. Whatever I talk, that won't be my own thoughts, but this belongs to these books. I am talking on the behalf of this book. So here we will discuss or we will make clear about why the men really can't do more than one things at a time. Then after that we will discuss about why the men never lie to the women. I mean women फिमेलले मेलसँग झुटो बोल्न सके पनि फिमेलले आफ्नो झुटो छुपाउन सक्दैन वा बोल्न सक्दैन, त्यसको कारणहरू व्हाट्स द लजिक बिहाइन्ड द्याट. Then after that we will talk about why the women talk so much and why the men so little, and then after that why the women prepare simply to talk to it, and why the men generally offers the solution then and they hate the advice, but actually the woman simply wants to talk rather than getting the solution to the problems. Then why women are despised of the men's silence. This type of questions we will discuss, and this book also relate to the books Men and Men from the Marx. This is related to the book, and so we will basically deal with some of the topics which have been discussed here. Like first, from where these authors' concept begins, that it basically deals with the differences among these opposite. When we talk about the difference, difference actually doesn't means the difference. It actually is the opposite of equality. Equality means being free to choose. Free to choose to do the things we want to do. But the difference means that as the men or women, we may not want to do the same thing, but we usually choose to do the different thing of the same list. When we reach to some place like hotels or wherever, from the same list we choose the different. From the same menu we choose the different, and actually this basically talks about the differences among our thinking process and among in our behaviors which we are dealing in our daily life, and this basically doesn't make us different from each others, but this book basically talks about how we can deal with each others, how we can make our speaking abilities or interactions more familiar with each others regarding some of the differences which we need to consider while going through the journey of the life. And this basically deals with understanding one others more deeply, and so it helps us to be ignored to that things which are different among each others. And this basically dealing with why the women needs to understand each others And so I here want to say this. There is another point that my wife can see a blonde of hair on my coat from 20 feet, but she hits the car garage down doors when she parks the car. This basically talks about the viewing ability of the men and women. When we talk about the viewing abilities or our way of viewing, then it's basically different. Here you can see on pictures, you can see or not this, yeah, you can see this is the pictures which basically tells about the abilities or the persistent ability of the men and the women. Here you can see clearly that the man has the ability to see distant or far object clearly, whereas the woman have the ability to see wide range of objects but nearer. They can't see far, and this is basically the abilities we developed during the process of evolutions. Basically we all are similar to that of other animals, and our 97 to 98% of that genes is similar with that of animals. So basically the evolution during the evolution pattern, basically the mens are designed to designed as a hunters. They basically prepare the hunting type of hunting and gatherings in the past. So this the vision of distinct vision or the ability to see in the distant object to the man is basically the adaptations they get during the process of evolutions, whereas the woman or the female genders have basically to live in the home areas, and so they are mostly they have the distinct ability of hearing, and they can see the wide range clearly from the nearer. So in order to detect any type of mischiefs which have been going to happen in their homes during their resting phase or their resting periods. So this is the basically difference of the abilities to vision. Similarly, there is the difference. You can see here some pictures regarding our ability to see. What do you see in these pictures? Some may see here a young ladies which is viewing towards the mirror, or some might see here the old man that is bending his head. Like this, our vision is also different according to the ability we think our vision actually creates some differences. Here you can see another picture that what do you see in this? What is written, or do you simply see the blocks of the walls which has been designed, or if you see clearly, then you will see here the letter or the words written FLY. So this basically differs in our vision or our ability that we start thinking. And so here if we talk about our daily lives, so we faces some of the problems that generally the main abilities and ability to see is differ from that of humans. How when we search something, we can't see the object clearly if whether it is too nearer to us then also. But the same things when faced by the females, they can easily detect anything nearby. So then after that we will talk about the abilities of I'm just basically going to deal with some of the ideas talked here in this book. Why the men can't talk properly. Instead, in what we faced in our daily life, generally in our society too, we practice that in our families, when a man have to talk or when a small boy have to talk, instead of him, our female members like our sisters, our mothers talked instead of him. Whenever someone asked us the questions that how are you, and then after that what type of question, generally if asked to the male members of the families, then it is answered by the female. What this how that there is less ability to talk in the men than in the female. I'm talking these all things or these all ideas on the behalf of this book, so this is not my personal ideas. Whenever they during the period of schooling too, the men generally used to talk less than that of the female. And so here I like to present on data that on an average the female wants to talk, or she generally talks about 2000 to 4000 words in a day. No, 2000 to 7000 words in a day. And she whenever if she don't feel that she had completed these words to talk in a day, then they generally used to talk. But when in the case of the male, they only talks about 1000 to 2000 words per day. This is the basic abilities designed, and these all are the data given in this book, and according to the research we performed somewhere in the places. Now, when we comes in the ideas of emotions, whenever the facial expressions, when we talk about the facial expressions, generally the male have similar type of expressions like this. You can see here the pictures. No, this is related with the females, and here is the emotions related with the males, that in every situations, whether they are in the joy, whether they are in the sorrow, whether they feel fear or in type of desire, they have generally the same type of expressions. But when in the case of female, they have the basic more ability to see show their expressions in vivid way, like when they are in the sadness, or when they are in happy, when they are in joy. They generally have the difference in their ability to show the emotions. Basically, their ability has been designed to according to their conditions. Like that, hearing abilities, when we talk about the hearing abilities, that whenever in the bathrooms the tap is running out, they can't the female generally can't tolerate that, and they complain about this. But when it comes to the male, they can easily tolerate this all, and they can't mind this type of activities. So similarly, these are the basic differences among the male and females and their abilities to show the behaviors to each others. This is the basic ideas talked in their book. And in more details, I have just started to reading this book. So initially I shared these ideas, and I will talk more detail about this in another session. So thank you. And at last, so I would like to make you enjoy with one of the Muktak in Nepali. Yeah. So just enjoy this. आकाशमा हुन्छु सधैँ, आकाशमा हुन्छु सधैँ, चरी हो कि चङ्गा, आकाशमा हुन्छु सधैँ, चरी हो कि चङ्गा, आजाद हुन्छु फेरि, आजाद हुन्न फेरि सधैँ, मनमा भइरहन्छ दङ्गा, आकाशमा हुन्छु सधैँ, चरी हो कि चङ्गा, आजाद हुन्न फेरि सधैँ, मनमा भइरहन्छ दङ्गा। मनमा कयौं प्रश्नहरू लिई म सधैँ आफ्नै अस्तित्व खोजिरहन्छु, मनमा सधैँ प्रश्न लिई आफ्नै अस्तित्व खोजिरहन्छु। फेरि अरूले मलाई सधैँ भन्छन्, यार यो मुसाफिर हो कि लफङ्गा, यार यो मुसाफिर हो कि लफङ्गा, मुसाफिर हो। यति छ मेरो मैले भन्न खोजेको कुराहरू पनि यति छन्। अब बिस्तारै बिचमा पनि अब टाइम मिल्यो भने त्यो अनुसारले आफ्नो मुक्तकहरू प्रेजेन्ट गर्छु। र आज हाम्रो
भए पनि अहिले विपन्न र किसानलाई एकातर्फ श्रम गुमेको छ भने अर्कोतर्फ हाम्रो मल बिउको अभाव पनि छ। र हामीले अस्ति एउटा समाचार पनि सुन्यौँ, केही ठाउँमा चाहिँ अब भोकमरीले मान्छेहरू त्यतिकै मरिरहेछन्। त्यो सँगसँगै विशेष गरी भारतको सिमाना जोडिएको तराई क्षेत्रमा कोरोनाको त्रास बढी छ। त्यसले गर्दा त्यहाँको आर्थिक सामाजिक क्षेत्रमा ठुलो इम्प्याक्ट परेको छ। अब त्यस सम्बन्धी एउटा मैले लेख पढेको थिएँ, अनि त्यही सुनाउन गइरहेको छु आज म। नमस्ते, म तराई, मेरो आवाज कमजोर छ। किसान म, तर भोको पेट किन मेरो? खुला छ मेरो जमिन, माथि छ खुला आकाश, तर कोचिएर म बस्नु परेको छ। माटोमा लुकिएको छ यो हात, तर काठ घाँटीमा झुन्डिएको छैन मेरो। सदर गुरिरहेको छन् ती पहिया, तर रोकिने मेरो पाइला मात्र किन? गरिब भएर होला कि अधिकार नभएको काम गर्नलाई, गरी खानलाई, गर्मीको त्यो तापमा भएको कालो खालालाई छैन हो आफ्नो परिवारको पेट पाल्नलाई।
मलाई पनि त लकडाउनमा बस्न मन छ, सामाजिक दूरी बनाउन मन छ, मलाई पनि त घरमा अन्न खाएर सुत्न मन छ, चिसो लहरमा मजाले बस्न मनपर्छ होला, तर म तराई, मेरो सानो एउटा कोठा छ, भाडोमा न चामल छ न त घैँटोमा नै पानी छ, मेरो आवाज कमजोर छ, किसान म तर भोको पेट किन मेरो, सायद भाषाको लागि मेरो अलि भिन्न छ होला, मेरो शरीरमा भएको कपडा अलि मैलो छ होला, हो म पनि एक नेपाली, तर यस्तो भेदभाव किन, भोको पेट, घाँटी सुक्खा नाङ्गो खुट्टा लिई कैयौँ दिन आफ्नो परिवार भेट्ने आशामा हेर्दा हेर्दै यति बाटोमा ज्यान गए पनि मेरो आँसुले खसाल्ने किन त केही छैन। नमस्ते म तराई, मेरो आवाज कमजोर छ, नेपाली नै त हुँ म, होइन र, पीडा किन मलाई मात्र गयो। धन्यवाद। आजको मेरो यही कविता मात्रै थियो।
ए धेरै राम्रो ठिकै छ। त्यसो भए अब कसैलाई यदि केही प्रेजेन्ट गर्नु छ भने उहाँहरू ह्यान्ड रेज गर्नु, अनि त्यसपछि त्यही अनुसारले हामी सेयर गर्छौँ माइक। अब अहिले बाङ्गिनु ठिकै त हो, हावा लागेको दिशातिर बाङ्गिनु ठिकै त हो, भ्रष्टाचारी अनि बेविचारीहरू नाङ्गिनु ठिकै त हो, भ्रष्टाचारी अनि बेविचारीहरू नाङ्गिनु ठिकै त हो, तर यो चोरहरूको देशमा उसकै ठुलो स्वर छ, तर यी चोरहरूको देशमा उसकै ठुलो स्वर छ, त्यसैले यहाँ सबैतिरको डाकाहरू झाङ्गिनु ठिकै त हो, त्यसैले यहाँ सबैतिरको डाकाहरू झाङ्गिनु ठिकै त हो। धन्यवाद।
यसले चाहिँ आफ्नो